Hey YouTube land, it's Tycanders back again with another retro action figure review. Now before I proceed, these reviews are intended for collectors over the age of 13, just to apply with the FTC and the COPA regulations. And today I'm reviewing one of the modern sets. I know I'm still not kind of finished the vintage Crash Dummy stuff, but I decided just to mix it up a little bit and review one of the early 2000s stuff. And this is the Crash SUV. Now, as far as I'm aware, there's only two versions of this. The blue one here and you'd almost call it a beige, not beige, kind of, it's a gold, kind of off gold colour, kind of like a brass. Now, unlike the car, the basic car, there was three repaints of that. There was a red one, a green one, and a blue one, which I will review when I get around to it, because I do have all three. I don't know if there was a third repaint of this. I could have sworn there was a green one. It could be just me thinking of the green car, but I could have sworn there was a lime green version of this as well, but maybe someone in the comment section might be able to correct me if I'm wrong or not. But as far as I know, these are the only two that I can think of. This one is a lot more harder to find than the blue one. The blue one comes up occasionally. Again, I'll go through missing parts that are usually missing on these. But for the most part, I'll just review the one. So, the way these are packaged, you would get a basic dummy with them. So let's move them to the side. And the basic dummies are these guys. They had a name tag, but no names written on them, unlike the previous old ones. So if I just bring in Whack here, you can see on his, he has a name tag. But all the modern ones didn't actually have name tags, or they didn't have well, they had names, but no written names on name tags, and then later on they just got rid of the name tags. So the basic dummy did exactly what the old Daryl figure did. If I can find one of the Daryls. Bear with me if I find one. I have one close at hand. So basically, all Daryl did was his head would pop up on a pole. So, and you could still rotate the head around. So the basic dummy figure for the modern line was fairly simplistic. It was a bit better constructed than the original ones, as in like the plastic felt stronger and more durable. Had a little bit more articulation, so the legs can go forward and back. There was a thigh swivel, single joint at the knee. There was peg holes on the boots. You had a swivel in the arm, a bend in the elbow, and a swivel just before the wrist, as after the elbow, and a swivel in the upper arm as well, and as I said, a rotation on the head. Not all of them had this articulation. Some of them had other features, which what I will probably do is I'll probably do a showcase of all the modern dummies I have. There's a few of them in the cars here, just for demonstration purposes. But the majority of the kind of basic ones that came with the vehicles were all these, and then the single carded ones were all the more gimmick laden ones. The basic SUV, if I open up the roof, had two seats. It's also electronic. Unfortunately, I don't have any batteries in any of these for the electronics, but you get kind of revving sounds, screech, tire screech sounds, and a crunch sound when they collided. You can see, if I just bring it up here, the grey panel here is where the batteries go in. As far as I know, all these they don't take like AA batteries, they all take those small pencil batteries, hence why I don't have any of the batteries in these. But the action feature of this is quite straightforward. So if I just put the window back in, trying to do this one-handed is a bit tricky. Now hopefully this will work on screen. I'll leave the dummies out of the goldy coloured one. Hopefully this won't suffer the same fate as most things with gold plastic, the old dreaded gold plastic syndrome, but just for demonstration purposes, this is what it did. So I just pull back the wreckage. You can see how the mechanism works. You have a spring here and connection, so when you fold this back up, connects in. Seats, both seats rocket out. They had the exact same seats for both ones. They're both grey plastic. There's no difference. There is a fake double seat in the back. You have doors that open up. You have a bumper that opens, or hood that opens, revealing an engine. There's, now on my one, when I got this little grey piece here was broken. I had to glue it back into place, but it seems to be holding well enough. But that holds the hood on. So without that, the hood was just popping up all the time. The window pops out. The front upper part of the roof opens up. If I just get it back into place. Now these aren't perfect examples of the vehicles. They weren't mint in box when I got them. Well, the blue one I did get mint in box when I originally bought it, but I'm not sure which one is my original. I actually have two of these, so I believe this is the one I got later. Stickers are identical. The stickers are all pre-applied on these, so you don't have to worry about anything. And then on the back, if I just open up the back, the boot opens. There's actually an ejection panel on the back that pops off when the boot flings open. So if you have something small in the back here, like one of the animals, the cats or the raccoons that they had, or the skunk, if you put that in the back and this opens up, this flies off. The other thing, and showcase it a little bit better on the blue one, the other thing that happens as well is the real wheels crumple into inside on both the front and the back. So when you're putting it back together, wheels realign, and then you just put everything back in place. Now, the back piece on this one didn't pop open, but I can see that the actual ejection seat at the back didn't actually pop out. So depending on how hard or how violently you smash them together, different stuff will happen. So just put these back into place. So they do fit quite nicely together. They do complement each other. They don't have the same stickers, which is handy enough. I thought they originally, when I saw them both, they actually had the same kind of crash test prototype stickers on them. They don't. They actually have two different ones. So the ground clearance on these are quite low as well. So that's another thing to be wary of. If you're rolling them over stuff, they'll more than likely hit off something low, and then the action feature gimmick will go off on them. And just because I have them here, just something to note about the modern figures. So I have these two figures. I believe these guys were this guy was part of the first wave of the kind of single-carded ones. You can tell later on they kind of changed up the construction to this more kind of blocky robotic look. But if I press the button on both of these, you can see they both have the exact same feature. And if I remember correctly, they're both named the same character, which I think is called Crunch, because the heads crunch inwards. But I believe they're supposed to be the same character. This is 2004 on the back, and it says Mattel China, and this one is 2003 on the back, so they were designed a year apart. But as you can see, the aesthetics on the yellow guy here are more in keeping with the modern one, or sorry, the ones that came packed with the cars. Whereas later on in the later wave, these guys, you got versions of these guys packed in with the vehicles in the later vehicles, like the second wave ones, which included a truck. Now I'm not sure if that was first wave or second wave. There was a truck. There's a kind of a bus. It's supposed to be like a party bus type thing. Some of the more modern vehicles, like the ones I've already reviewed, like the lawnmowers and stuff. So there was later waves of those and modern ones, or the first waves, and I'm not sure which ones came with what. But I do know that there was some later wave ones that came with kind of more bulky figures like these. There's an example of another one. I'm not sure the name on this guy. I got him recently for a lovely expensive price of €1, and his body spins like that. So if I just do a spin kick, and his arms fall off. So I'm not sure the name of this guy. Again, 2004 is on the back, and you can see he's more of a bulky design compared to the originals. You can also see he's supposed to be, the way he's decoed is he looks like he's wearing shorts and a t-shirt, which is kind of interesting. He has those kind of more bulky robotic look to him. I have a few figures like this. I have one guy that's supposed to be like in a swimming suit, kind of a diver suit, and then I have another guy that looks like he's a park ranger with the colour scheme that he has had, kind of a green with beige. So there's a few different figures. Again, unfortunately, I don't know the names of them off yet. I'm going to try and do a bit of research and see if I can find the names. But the weird thing about the modern line is there isn't much information out there about it, as in like what came with what. There's more information on the vintage Tyco line than there is on the modern ones. The one thing I can go by is if I can see packaged versions of the figures, I can get their names. But as far as I know, I've never seen a packaged version of this guy, so I'm not sure if he came with a vehicle specifically, or if he came with single carded kind of packaging. There was sort of deluxe ones as well that came with like a bicycle and kind of skateboard and little ramp systems. If I get one or two of those, I will review those as well. So mainly this review is for the SUVs. I kind of briefly touched on the figures, but when I get a whole host of figures, I will do a bigger showcase on them. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video review for more of the Crash Dummy stuff. As I said, I will try and get more videos done for these. I will try and get some more of the vintage stuff done. I do have a good few vintage things to do. I have the test center as well, which I will do. I have the, I think it's the Crash chair, I think it's called, the one that you can strap dummies to and basically hammer them with different various things. I don't have the Junkbot playset, and I don't have the Junkbot vehicles. They're the only kind of main vehicles I don't have, and then there's a couple of the actual vintage vehicles that are really rare to get that I don't have, as in like the alternate stock car from the racing series, the complete version of this thing, which is the racing ATV, and the racing plane. I have an incomplete one which I will probably use with my plane review. As far as I know, those are the only planes they did. They didn't do a plane for the modern series. If I'm wrong, please, if someone can correct me in the comments below. But as far as I know, they only did the plane, Crash Dummy plane for the vintage collection. I'm not sure if it was a big seller. You tend to see a lot of them for sale. So maybe they didn't sell well enough to earn a modern version, but unlike the cars and bikes and stuff. But there is, as I said, there's always a few things that I'm kind of looking out for that I will probably pick up and review when I get them. So there you go, guys. Quick video review for the Crash Dummies SUV. As I said in my videos, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm hoping to try and set up a Patreon so I can get some kind of, sponsorship, or not sponsorship, but kind of Patreon page, so I can keep the channel going, get better equipment, so I can get better lighting and better camera and better setup. I know these aren't the best videos, but hopefully I'm trying to improve upon my video reviews and try and improve my editing skills as well. If I actually do editing, I haven't done editing on anything, but I will try and get more into editing as well. So there you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and cheers for your support.